socialite for consciousness and instigator of possibilities. Welcome to my podcast today. So today, I am talking about, have you ever had one of those days? Did you ever wake up and you just didn't feel that great, whether it was in your body, in your head? You almost feel like you couldn't think and, you don't want to really do anything. This came up for me because I had one of those days on Saturday. And, we all have those days. I have those days. I'm sure you've had those days. And sometimes we have them more frequently than others. So I'm here to talk about that, give you some tools that can help with that, and just to sometimes be with it. So, it can be frustrating when we have those days, especially when you feel like you have so much to do. And, sometimes that's what it is. We feel like we have a lot to do and we have so much to get done. And, again, what does it take to get those things done faster than we can possibly imagine? But also when you feel like you have so much to do and you wake up and you don't feel like doing anything, there's some different ways we can go about that. I woke up on Saturday and I was like, oh God, I feel like shit, literally, and I was like, I have so much to do, and how am I going to get all this done? And I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. I don't really have to do anything. Do I have certain responsibilities? Yes. Do I always have to get them done in a certain amount of time? Not always. So I let myself be with this feeling, and I did start to ask some questions. There's no question in waking up and just going, oh, I have to get all this done. It's okay. What's required of me today? What, for me, I did start to ask my body some questions. And, sometimes our body does just want to be. Sometimes, when we are asking questions and nothing's really moving, sometimes, we just need a little rest and we need a little break, and there's nothing wrong for that. The thing is that we live in such a world of doing. Even right now with the pandemic, so many people are working from home, and some of us are still extremely busy and still have a lot of projects and things to do, or even things that we want to create. And again, sometimes our body's just like, I just need a little rest. So I started asking some questions. And one of the first questions, that I asked that I really love, it's a staple question in Access Consciousness. It's something we use all the time, and that, who does this belong to? So I started to ask that question. And it changed, it did start to change some things for me by asking, who does this belong to? And I was like, I know it's not mine, but it wasn't shifting a whole lot. I still didn't feel great. I got a lot of stuff done in the morning. I wanted to make some soup, so I had it for the week, and cook something else so that I'd have it. And I got all of that done. I got a lot of that done, and I had to be on another podcast to record. And that went smooth, and it was short, although I felt like I couldn't even talk. It was just a really interesting sensations that was going on for me. And, I asked another question, which is a great question to use, and it's easy to remember. And that is interesting point of view. So I'm going about my day, and as I kind of go into some conclusions and some different spaces, I'm like, okay, well, interesting point of view. I'm having that point of view. And, when I ask these questions, I just say them over and over, and things will usually shift. And, I went from not feeling so great in my body to feeling better, although I still didn't really want to do. A lot of times when we ask these questions, things shift, and sometimes our body is still just trying to send us a message. But when we ask these questions, it stops us from at least going into these conclusions. Because again, I wasn't feeling that great in my body. I was almost feeling like I was getting sick, but I knew I wasn't sick, and I just felt tired. And again, that's a feeling. We'll talk about feelings one of these days. And I, again, just kept asking these questions, but I didn't go into the conclusions that I was sick, or A, that it was coronavirus, because I don't believe that it's going to hurt me. And B, I don't, I have, I do have the point of view that thoughts are things. And if we think that we're getting sick, if we think that we're not feeling good, then that is what will happen, and that is what can happen with our body. So I even, I did a little workout yesterday, did one of my dance workouts. I was a bit sluggish, and I did want to do what I felt like my body wanted to move. So again, I didn't force it to move as vigorously as I have the past few days. And I just stayed in the question. And another question, that I asked is, okay, what's right about this? And what's right about this that I'm not getting? Because it's okay for our bodies to just want to relax and want to rest. And we don't always give them the freedom to do that. But that's why our bodies also start to break down, and they get more dis-ease, or they take on being sick or whatever it is. Because as much as we feel like we should always be doing and not take a break, our bodies like to take a break. They like to rest and not do so much. And the thing is that that's okay. But we often make ourselves wrong for that. So, that's another great question to use when anything is up in your world, whether it's that you're not feeling so great in your body, you have things to do, but, you have things you want to create, but you're not feeling so creative. You're not, wanting to be so creative. And, what's right about this that I'm not getting? And another great question that I also like to ask, that I did ask as well yesterday, is what's really going on here? And, when I asked that, it again, all the questions shift something. Because the thing is again, it's not going into that conclusion of, oh, I'm getting sick just because your body's feeling a little bit run down, or it's just trying to tell you something like, rest me, give me a break. And, I'm going to go through some other questions with you guys that I asked as well, because sometimes it isn't just one question. And again, sometimes one question shifts and you still have this sense of like me just not, my body just wanting to take a break or wanting to relax. And so, we often need to go through several questions and let each one shift and change whatever is going on. And again, you don't have to, but when we ask these questions, it really takes us out of the conclusions of, oh, I'm, because when you say I'm sick, it's just a conclusion. If you say I'm tired, it's just a conclusion. So for me, it's more about asking my body and asking again, what's really going on here. And it's not about having an answer. I mean, I never got an answer. When I ask who does this belong to, it's not like it's Joe Schmo across the street or whatever, but it's like, okay, it's not mine. And, what else is possible here? Interesting point of view. I'm having this point of view. What's really going on here? And then I got that I really needed to ask my body, because I wasn't asking my body a ton. I mean, I'm asking the questions. I wasn't asking them, more direct to my body. So I asked, I said, body, what would you like to do? Because I really wanted to go out for a walk yesterday too. I did eventually get out for a walk. And I wanted to move, and I wanted to create, and I felt like I had all these things to do, but it just wasn't happening. I had a lot of writing to do, and every time I went to write or try to sit down to write, my body's like, I just want to lay here. And it's funny because I didn't take a nap, I didn't sleep, but my body just wanted to be still, and it just wanted to take it easy. And it was interesting because I also was getting ready to, and that's really more just the energy I got from my body. It was like, I just want to lay here. I don't really want to do anything. I don't want to think, it definitely didn't want to write. And it was funny because interesting, I should say, because when I did get ready to go out for a walk, I was kind of going to force myself. I had been laying there. I was like, okay, get up. And again, no question in that. I didn't ask, body, do you want to get up? And, I was smelling smoke, which was really interesting. And I thought maybe my air conditioner was just working, a little hard. It was kind of hot yesterday, so I had the AC on. And I kept smelling it, though, and the window was slightly open. And then I hear all these sirens, and lots of them. And then I look down, and they're all in the street below. And I knew it wasn't anything in my building. And I look around, and I start looking out the windows just to see if I can see anything. I can't really see below except for the street because we have a wraparound terrace in the building. But I looked out one of the windows, and I saw one of the buildings on the corner, and the whole window was busted out, and it was black. So there had been a fire across the street apparently. And I called downstairs, and the doorman said, hey, you should probably wait to take your walk and give it about 30 minutes, and they'll probably have everything pretty much cleared up. So I waited a little bit, and it was a lot lighter. My body wasn't really ready to go out when I was like, get up. And then I asked, okay, body, you ready to go out for a walk? And everything had pretty much cleared up. And I went for a walk in Central Park, and I didn't, force it to be too long. Just a nice 30-minute walk just to get my body moving and get outside. It'd been a little cold, and I really haven't been outside that much. And my body, I know it has been craving some vitamin D. And so I felt a lot better after going out for the walk. My body actually felt great. It still didn't really want to do anything. And so I was, sitting on the couch, and I have the TV on, and I'm just taking it easy, and I'm wanting to do stuff, but keeping in the question. And I was like, okay, well, what can I do here? It was like, what is it that I can do here? What is it that's creative that I could do that would be fun for me right now? And again, I tried to force myself to write. I got a little bit out, and I think that's actually when I asked that question. And I got the awareness that I could do some images in Photoshop. I've been working on some images for a project, and I have a lot of different ones I can create with the photos that I have and things like that. And it's pretty easy. And I did a few of those, and it was really light, and it shifted my energy. And I didn't do too many. It's just, again, I wasn't forcing it, but it felt light, and I felt like I was having fun, or I don't really want to use the word feel, but I had that sense of fun and joy and lightness in my body. And, I took some breaks and went back and forth, and again, I didn't do a lot, but I felt, I just was lighter in my body, and it shifted something. And I still didn't really want to do that much yesterday, so I let myself just be. I made some dinner. I had taken a shower like right after I got back from my walk pretty much because, I don't know, I was just feeling sticky and wanted to change. And, the thing is that sometimes our body does just want to be. I mean, I probably could have done without that little creativeness of doing the photos. But again, it did make me feel I did start to feel a lot lighter from doing it. But my body just wanted to relax. It didn't want to do a whole lot. It just wanted some TLC. It just wanted to sit there and veg out and watch some TV. And I'm not a big, huge TV watcher. I like to watch some movies and such like that. And every now and then I'll binge watch something if that's light and fun for me. But every now and then, my body just wants to take a break and not want to do anything. And that was really in the mode that it was yesterday. And I woke up today feeling so much more energized and creative, and I felt good. I didn't have that feeling like I was getting sick, or however you want to call it, just that icky feeling in my body that I was having yesterday. And I was like, oh, I can get this done. I can get this done. I can get this done today. And it's light, it's light to record this podcast. I wanted to record a podcast yesterday, and I didn't do it, obviously. And again, I wasn't in the mood. My body wasn't in the mood. And I woke up today and I was really excited to do this podcast. I was excited to move my body and to create and to be and do, all these things that are so fun for me. And again, giving myself that break yesterday, it's allowed this creative energy to really flow tenfold. If I had tried to force myself to do these things yesterday, my body wouldn't have gotten the rest that it was requiring. And today, I probably wouldn't be feeling so energized, and I mean, I've already gotten so much done today. And I'm recording this podcast. I might record Tuesday's tips today. I'm not sure. But it just shifts so much, How often do you try and force yourself to work, force yourself to be productive when you're not? Your body or your mind isn't in the mood for it. And it wants to do something else. Maybe it wants to get out in nature. Maybe it wants to sit and just binge watch some TV. And maybe it's not even all day, If you just give yourself some breaks and listen to your body when it's saying, hey, I could be it's probably trying to tell you, hey, I could be a lot more productive if you let me just be for a little bit. Take me for a walk. Let me watch something stupid on TV. Let me take a nap or get some body work done maybe. I see so many people that are like, oh, I don't have time to get a massage. I don't have time to take a break. And there's not tons of that available right now. But, even right now, there's some people that are like, oh, I'm too busy for this. I'm too busy for that. I'm too busy to get out. And now more than ever is the time for us to begin to listen to our bodies. And it can so assist us in being more creative when we include our bodies in the creation and actually listen to it. Take a walk. And again, like I said, maybe it's only a couple hours that it needs. I mean, my body needed the day yesterday. I got the things done that I had to get done. And there's a few other things I tried to make myself do. And it was just like, no. And I was like, okay, body, I get it. You want to rest. And in my mind, I still wanted to do things. Hence, when I did some of the photos, again, that was light. And I did ask what it was that I could do. And, just not forcing myself to do a lot of it. And, in our everyday lives, we can get so much more done in shorter amounts of time when we take these breaks, when we allow ourselves to have this time for ourselves, to have some time for ourselves, or to enjoy people or things, whatever it is that is fun for you, So try this. If you're not feeling productive, if you're not feeling like sitting down and working, take a walk. If you're feeling sick, ask some questions. Don't go into the conclusion that your body has to be sick. Your body never has to take on sickness. That is also just an interesting point of view and probably a conversation for another day. So ask these questions, who does this belong to? Interesting point of view. I'm having this point of view. What's right about this that I'm not getting? And what's really going on here? And most of all, don't forget to ask your body. If you're having trouble focusing, if you're not feeling so great, it's usually your body trying to tell you something. So ask your body. Ask your body, what would you like to do right now? Body, would you like to rest? Would you like to take a walk? Would you like to move? Whatever it is. But like I was talking about on Tuesday, start having conversations with your body. Our body has so many capabilities, and when you start including your body in creating with your business and creating with your life, if you don't have a body, hey, you wouldn't be here. So start to have some more communion with your body. Ask it some questions. It takes some practice to begin to listen to it again. But the more you ask and the more you practice, the greater your body can start to show up and start to give you the awarenesses of what's going to create greater with you and your body and the planet. So this was so much fun to talk to you guys about this today, especially since it just came up for me. And I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Tuesday's tips will be up this week, another short little edition for you. And I hope you enjoy your day and have an amazing week and keep on creating. And thank you again for joining me. I'm so grateful for all of you for listening. Ciao for now. Bye.